What the heck is going on? This can't be. No. Calling Cathie. Cathie, what is going on? I'm reading this article and it's crazy. No, I'm not stalking you. Okay, I agree. 125 Instagram messages is a bit much, but I was just checking on you since you weren't responding. That makes perfect sense. It was 3 a.m. and you were asleep. But what about this news that ARK Invest is being taken over? What? Are you serious? That's horrible. They actually said that? That's it. Nope, stop. That's it. I'm gonna get to the bottom of this right now because I'm a man of action. Let's do this. I'm ready. I really gotta go to the bathroom first though. What is going on, guys? Luke here today to bring you answers to this crazy situation that I just uncovered from my secret operation. And I will reveal some inside intel that I got direct from Cathie during my mission that will let us know what are the possibilities and what I will do in response. And I also got some secret intel from Cathie that will help us get to the bottom of this mystery. But first, let's do a quick recap of everything we know up until before my phone call with Cathie, so everyone is up to speed. So as we all found out, Resolute Investment Managers plan to exercise its option to purchase a controlling stake in ARK early next year. In an October 29 SEC filing, ARK reported that as part of a 2016 agreement, Resolute has an option to purchase a controlling, voting, and equity interest in ARK that is exercisable in 2021. This option was included as part of the minority stake in Wood's firm that Resolute took way back in July 2016. So that's all the way back when the fund was in its early stages, and according to the article, they were operating out of an office with no AC. So they obviously needed the money. So ARK took on the funding from Resolute, which is very common in the early stages of a fund in exchange for a minority share in the company. So that's all pretty standard stuff and very common. Think of it like a startup company. Starting up a fund is extremely expensive to start up and operate, and the funding that Resolute provided was vital to keep the doors open and allow Cathie to grow ARK Invest to what it is today. And grew it did. They went from 60 million in assets to over $18 billion in assets since Resolute put their investment into ARK. Additionally, Resolute had the right to exercise options to buy more of the company if they wanted to, hence the word option. It's contractual and the terms are spelled out. There shouldn't be much controversy. But for my covert operation and my crack investigating skills, not investing skills, this exercise of the option has much more to do with ARK putting out a formal request for proposal to evaluate potential strategic partners for US distribution. What does all that mean? Well, it doesn't freaking matter. What matters is Resolute already does that for ARK Invest. So that request for proposal went out on October 26th, and Resolute filed to exercise their options on October 29th. So in my opinion, Resolute was clearly put into a defensive position and decided to exercise their options immediately after seeing that formal request. So in response to that, Cathie Wood released this statement after finding out that, Resolute was exercising their option. On behalf of the employee owners of ARK, we are disappointed that Resolute Investment Managers and its private equity owner, Kelso & Company, have chosen to issue this unwelcome notice that they intend to seize control of our business. So what the heck is going on there? Obviously, from the terms of the agreement, Resolute can do this. But Cathie is really hitting back hard on something that should be procedural by this point. This tells me there is something else going on there. I mean, seriously, Why go out with a formal request for proposal to replace a company that is already a minority shareholder? But hang on, there'll be more on that here in just a minute. First, we need to figure out the impact and possible outcomes of this news. But luckily for you guys, I have narrowed it down to 3 main impacts with outcomes, and I will break each of those down for you, starting with the mild one and ending with basically the nuclear scenario. So the first scenario would be Cathie just lets the options be exercised and carries on with life. Look, ARK has a great thing going on for right now, and we have no indication that Resolute is doing anything more than taking a bigger piece of the pie in terms of profits and ownership and protecting their interest in the business. I mean, seriously, think about this for a second, guys. If you had the option to exercise more ownership on an asset you already own, and probably at a steep discount from its current valuation, wouldn't you exercise those options too? Especially with the monster increase of value of the asset that you own? And furthermore, even if you gain complete control, would you really make too many changes given how well the fund has performed? My guess is probably not. So Cathie may publicly be making statements trying to dissuade them from exercising those options, but if she does nothing more than just that, then this is just a vain attempt at keeping things how they are at ARK Invest and maintaining control. In the end of this scenario, Cathie and her team can just kicking butt and making money, assuming Resolute chooses to leave things unchanged for the most part. So for the second scenario, you choose to go to court and fight for control of your baby. Now we don't have the full story yet, but maybe there is more below the surface of the agreements and Cathie feels misled or even deceived. She has decades in the industry, and starting this fund was obviously her dream project and her concept in the end. They have developed cutting-edge research and a method for finding winners and making trades that continue to profit the fund huge. And if there are emails, text, meeting minutes, and other tangible evidence of a deception, then she may have a real case in court. And of course, if any of that is true, and I'm not saying that it is, but if any of it is, then she absolutely should go to court to fight for control of that asset. So think about it from that perspective. If you felt you had been deceived and had proof of that deception, and it involved your passion project, then you absolutely would go to battle in court and fight this thing out. And finally, you have the nuclear option. Essentially, you leave and take your team with you and start another fund. Now, I'll be honest up front, this is probably the last option and would absolutely devastate the fund, and it's basically a worst case scenario for everyone. But it is a possibility, assuming she has had conversations with Resolute and they have told her they are fundamentally changing how ARK Invest operates, or worse yet, they're gonna fire her altogether because she doesn't want to get on board with the changes. Either way, if Cathie chooses to leave, I think a huge part of her team would leave with her. My guess is they are all loyal to her before Resolute and the entity that is ARK itself. Now this option makes absolutely 0 sense for either party, and I don't even know what this looks like. I mean, it makes no sense for Resolute at all. Why kill the golden goose? Why get rid of this team that has grown this fund infinitely and turned it into a monster and basically a world-class fund? And it makes absolutely no sense for Cathie to leave either, as standing up a new fund is not easy, it's not fast, and it requires tens of millions of dollars and more. And also keep in mind, most, if not all, of the proprietary trading models are owned by ARK Invest, not Cathie Wood. So they would stay with the company, and she would have to start from scratch on a lot of the trading ideas she had and that her team have built over the years. Now slow down before you get too riled up. This is standard for investment funds. Nobody has screwed her over on this. And she honestly knows that the road is long and hard to start all over again. So to me, the most likely outcome is Resolute renegotiates the option agreement in exchange for ARK using their services for a period of time. So what exactly is causing this battle control? What is going on between Cathie and Resolute? My unconfirmed, maybe person that I have a crush with has kind of told me that this is just a power play move to get Resolute to the negotiation table about the options and other business relationships so she can maintain control and keep control overall. However, she also realizes that Resolute deserves to get paid for their investment, so they will be able to exercise some options and be given additional considerations now and in the future. They absolutely should be paid for that investment, and paid big given how well the fund has done. Now if this plan all blows up and things just get real ugly, I personally would not invest in ARK Invest if there is a mass exodus of talent. I think they will work this out, so there's no need to panic. And my mission is finally over.